Alright, so now that we have created our sets, now we're going to start using our sets. Whenever you get into using your sets, you have a couple of options. The first one is to study, and the second one is to play. So this video is going to be about studying with your sets. So let's go ahead and open up a set. I'm going to use this body system set. You'll see that you have your study options here and your play options over here. We're going to do just flashcards first. So I'm going to click on this.
Organ systems.
And you'll notice that I have my options set to go ahead and turn the audio on so it played, but I'm going to turn that off for right now. But if you want kids to go through this, you have options for the different ways that you want them to work on stuff. So just starting with, you'll see that we are in flashcard mode, so you have a term here. Now if you click, it'll flip and it will give you the definition. And then you can move through each card doing that over and over again on your own by clicking the arrow to play and then clicking the arrow to flip. So you have that option to go through. Now you can also automate this by just clicking play, and it will work through these cards on your own. So if kids just need exposure and they need to see these terms with the definitions attached, the play function might not be a bad deal. And you also have the option of using the keyboard keys to go through these as well. You'll notice up in the upper right hand corner you have a couple of options. You have the edit button, and then you have a little speaker button here. What the edit button does is it lets you change what it says on here, so you probably won't want to use that a whole heck of a lot. The speaker button will actually narrate the
A
card.
group of two or more organs working together for a specific job, for example the digestive system.
So the students can just work through at their own pace, and they can actually have it read to them as well. Now let's say kids are working through here and there's a couple they get stuck on. That's when you'll want to study it, and so that's how you can kind of set up separate groups in here. You'll have your starred. So I have a couple of questions that I'm having a hard time with, and I've starred those, so I just need to go over them over and over again, right? After you get through, you'll get a nice little report here that tells you that you have completed the set, and way to go, you've done all the terms, etc., blah, blah, blah. So that's how the flashcards part works. Next, we'll talk about the next option, which is going to be learn. So we're going to go ahead and click where it says learn right here. Learn is where you'll have a couple of different options for working through these, but for the most part, it wants you to type up your responses. So you'll go ahead and you'll type put circulatory system, and I'll hit answer, and that was correct, so it gave me a little correct report. Again, you can have it
Major
read
organs
these to you. I want to go to the next. So, and it works the same, except learn means instead of drill and kill, you actually are a little bit more active in the process, in that you are typing up the answers. Same thing goes through. You go through the cards, you type up the terms, all those kind of things. I will say you can flip these around, so if you want to do the term and then have those write the definition, that works the same with flashcards. Students do always have the option to put I don't know. And then if they click I don't know, they will be prompted to type this up. So it says the integumentary system, major organ of the skin includes hair and nails. So then the student will then type major organ is the skin and includes hair and nails. And then it will give you credit. It will move on its own. So you have that option as well for learn. The next one that we will talk about is spell. This is more for if you do like spelling lists or something, but basically what it's going to do
digestive system
is it's going to give me that term like that, and then I need to type it. So I'm going to get the audio cue. It's going to tell me to literally type that answer, and then I will hit enter.
respiratory system.
Now again, unless you're doing spelling,
digestive
this isn't
system.
super awesome, but it does kind of pair that auditory cue with the term. Now what I don't like is that it doesn't necessarily make you read over this. So you might want to flip around and have it speak the definition first and have it read if you're doing definitions instead of just a spelling test.
Where the oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange occurs.
Yeah, so you don't want to have them necessarily type all of that. So this is really only works for like if you're doing a spelling test, but like I said, if you want to pair the auditory cue to the definition, it might be a good way to study that. The last one that we will discuss is going to be test. And a test is just going to give you a set of the terms and it wants you to type in those definitions. It'll give you a few different types of sets so that you'll see that this one is a short answer, fill in the blank basically. This one's matching, and then at the end you have multiple choice. And so what it does is it will take all of your terms, your questions, all that kind of stuff, and it will turn those into a test with different flexible types of answers. I do like that it allows you to print this test, so if you have kids who aren't necessarily needing to use the technology, they can still participate by having you print this off, and they can do it on paper. And students will work through that and they will submit and check their answers, and then the ones they miss they will be prompted to work through on some of the other skills like the flashcards, the learn, etc. So those are the different ways that students can use Quizlet to study. Next, in our next video, we will talk about some games that you can play with Quizlet.